But I want to talk about this election that's coming up. And I got a different slant from most people on this election.
All right.
We tend to deal in personalities. Obama, everybody got about that election and went out and voted because Obama was running. And that's good, you know, but we got to take care of business in Greensboro and Guilford County.
That's right.
And this election is not about Democrats or Republicans. It's about progressives, and conservatives. This is what this election is about. Who's going to take care of business? Who are going to do the will of the people in the community? Is it going to be this candidate who is very progressive and understand what the issues are, or is this going to be this conservative candidate who's talking about going back to where it was when when George Bush was in office? And then we got some people who are running around the community who are called accommodationists. These are the people who gets in the middle, it gets in between us and block us from doing the things that we need to do in the community. And they raise all kinds of false issues. These false issues. Like one of the false, all right, okay. There are several key points, and some of them have been mentioned in it already, that are issues. Issues is what I'm concerned about. I'm not concerned about whether a person is Democrat or Republican. I will vote for Republicans if their issues coincide with my issues. Okay? And I have done that in the past. But this time around, I can't do that. Because none of the Republican candidates on this list are progressive. All of these people are Tea Partiers, are very conservative people who are not interested in Obama's health care plan. They're not involved in the stimulus plan. None of those things. So we got people going around raising this false issue in the Senate District 28, which has been, since this district was instituted in the state of North Carolina, it is a minority district. This is how we got black people in the state legislature, okay? And the first person to hold this position was William Martin, who was a graduate of A&T State University. And after he stepped down, then Dr. Katie Dorsett, who had been a former teacher at A&T, became the senator. Now we have a person, Gladys Robinson, who is opposing, and Gladys is a progressive. She's also on the Board of Governors, is running against a woman named Trudy Wade, who is a conservative and on the Greensboro City Council, okay? And also running is an accommodationist by the name of Bruce Davis. Now Bruce running because he's mad with Gladys because Gladys and Katie went down and registered and didn't tell them that they were going that she was going to run, and so blocked him out, okay? And so that's the issue there. They're talking about that. That's why he's running about that. He's not running because we are about to lose this seat to a conservative person if we don't come out and vote.
And also, we're going to lose the only female, black female, in the state Senate. Yeah, the only black female in the state Senate.
If Gladys doesn't win.
If Gladys does not win.
Okay. So this race is not about this false issue about how it was done, and he wasn't told that Katie didn't tell him that she was going to step down. It ain't about that. The issue is we got to save this seat for our community. Okay? We got to save this seat for our community. And if we don't come out, if we come out at 10%, Trudy Wade, the woman who is on the city council, who was previously on the county commission, who has never supported anything in the African American community. The Beloved Community Center and some other people worked on a energy grant that was sent down to Greensboro. Greensboro was one of 35 cities to get this grant, $5 million, okay? It would help with weatherization in the northeast and southeastern part of the city. She is leading a coalition on the city council to send the $5 million back to Washington. They are opposed to Obama's stimulus plan. So they want to send this money back. And we fought very hard to get this money down here because it tied into this is jobs. Yeah, jobs. But that's what we're up against. We can't lose this seat. So we got to have, how many people know Marcus Brandon? I've heard that name. He's running for State House.
It's on the balance.
Okay. He's my nephew.
205. Top.
He's my nephew. He's my nephew. He's saying that in order for us to maintain what we got and prevent a rollback to 1994, and I'm gonna tell you what happened in 1994, that we got to come out between 35 and 40% in terms of our voting. In the past primary, we only turned out 10% of the population. And the election before that, Yvonne Johnson, who was the mayor, a progressive, lost a race by 800 votes because we couldn't get people to come out. Only 10% of the people came out and voted. So we now got a very conservative, backward mayor sitting down there taking care of business. But 1994, we had an election. And students and folk didn't come out as usual because it was an off-year election, right? These people got in office. It went down to Raleigh. And the first act was to cut student aid. That's what we're up against. Because one of the major issues is not only saving the seat, but making sure we got somebody down there who's going to protect students. That's right. Okay? Who's going to fight for students, going to fight for you to be able to have the aid that you need to go to school. You can't do that over here. You can't do that with this person here. So in '94, we didn't vote. And guess what the students did? Anybody got an idea what students did after the election?
They got mad.
They got mad, they did what? And organized one of the biggest protests in the state of North Carolina, down at the State House. Thousands of them down there, thousands of them down there in Raleigh, protesting at the legislature, when we needed only 100 people to come out and vote. And that would have kept things from being changed. That's what this is about. The other issue is redistricting. Every 10 years, the census is done, right? We just went through that. And based on the census, we get new district lines for congressional districts. This is the year. So if we get a bunch of conservatives down there, they're going to redraw the line, the congressional lines. And so Mel Watt, who I normally campaign for in Guilford County, stands a chance of having his district, and will have his district redrawn. They've done it a couple of times. Okay? And what they do is put more and more conservatives into, this is a predominantly black district. What they do is put more and more people into the district, and so his chances of winning becomes very slim. So this election is very, very important. Students have to come out and be a part of what happens in the broader community. This is a community thing. And one of the things that happened when I was here at A&T, there was about 1,500 of us, or maybe 2,000 of us in school here when I was in school. The campus doesn't look anything like this. This right here was not in existence. Market Street was in front of the building, that little strip in front of this building, that was Market Street. And it went up through where Paul is. This was woods. The smokestack was in the woods. And to get down there, you had to go down dirt streets. All over East Market Street were dirt streets. Going down East Market Street, East Market Street was paved, but all of the streets going off East Market Street were dirt streets. In 1980, we had still had over 300 miles of dirt streets on this side of town. And we had, and the students here, we fought that nonsense. I mean, from the day I stepped on this campus, there was fights against the tyranny, the repression, the oppression, and the desegregation that occurred in this city. And students from A&T have always been about fighting for justice and for what is right. And we got to do that now. It will be an injustice if we lose this seat to a conservative person who cares nothing about our community and supporting our community. So, Aggies, we got to do what we do.
Yeah. So
we got to do what we do.
So the only thing that we're going to do differently than in the past is show out more for the vote?
No, what we got to do is, what we got to do is understand what the issues are, right? And then we got to leave this meeting here and go over to the meeting that's taking place at 7 o'clock and tell folks, look here, this ain't about personalities. This ain't about personalities. It is about us as a community and how we are going to prevail as a community. That's what this is about. It ain't about personality. It's about issues. It is about protecting what belongs to us. This seat belongs to us. We fought very hard to get this seat. We went, those of us who were in the 60s and 70s and 80s went through a lot of struggles to get these seats. See, that was a time when black people couldn't get elected to the city council because we had a large election. And if black people were running at a large, they couldn't beat white folks running at a large. So we had to have a district. So we got districts. We got districts on the school board. We got district and county commission. That's the only way we could get seats. And we had to fight. We had to fight. We had to demonstrate. We had to get in the street. When we were demonstrating against folk in 1962 and 63, we had the largest demonstrations in the South. You know about Birmingham and Alabama and Montgomery, but you don't know about Greensboro. 2,000 and 3,000 people a night marching down Market Street, downtown. 2 and 3. We broke the city in June 6 of 1963. Right there where Elm Street and Market Street crossed, 3,000 people sat down in the middle of the street. 3,000 people sat down in the middle of the street. The mayor who wouldn't talk to us, the next day, he ended desegregation in Greensboro. All the movie theaters, all the restaurants, everything opened up. That's the power of, and it was Dudley High School students, it was A&T students, it was Bentley College students, it was the elders in the community, it was everybody. But the power of us can make change, and we've been talking about change. The change that Obama talked about was the people in this room. Because what? You went out and voted. Otherwise, it would never happen. And the only thing that's constant in this universe is change. So let's get busy. So we got to go out and talk about what the real issues are. Forget about the personalities. Forget about, I don't like this person because that person didn't speak to me. Or I don't like the way that person went down there and registered for this position. It ain't about that. It is about saving this seat. It is about congressional redistricting. It is about keeping student aid and trying to get more money. It is about jobs. It is about the landfill, White Street landfill. It is about immigration. It is about a whole host of things. And that's what we got to be talking about. And that's what we got to be fighting for. So, right.
Y'all give it up for Mr. Brandon, y'all.